Everything that we do is untraceable. Think he gangster, that nigga's erasable. This bitch listening to too much Beyonce. She really thinks she irreplaceable. She tries this and they sit in symmetrical. I put a ring on my niggas, no marriage. It's more so like we winning every year Super Bowl. Even go to an Emmy was epic. Next year my investments was ethical. They all praise been and walk like it's medical. Said he put up with Runs, it was Reginald. This was draw from the bank, it was regional. I might rap on my whips for the seasonal. In my safety, they see it's an igloo. I mean igloo, I took her to Noble. It's your hood and ain't nobody know you. I'm a mogul, I will not approach you. My backyard got jet skis in Atlanta. How you do it? I'm rich and they knew it. High poet, 6 in this fountain. Lady dancer, we fuck at the manor. With no manners, she wanna be slutted. In my eyes, she told me I'm handsome. Get that shit from the back, pay the ransom. Walk around with the cannon like Samson. I can't speak on that.
What's happening, man? What's happening, peoples? What's happening, gentlemen's, ladies and gentlemen's, peoples of all ages, shapes, and sizes? It's me. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all miss this. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all miss this. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to be back in front of this camera, man. If you don't know, I was gone for a little minute. I was gone for a little week. Had the little woosah. But yeah, I'm back now. And I'm cool. Everything good. That's how you know I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I forgot to, I was like, hey, dap me up, twin. You know what I'm saying? Dap me up, twin. Yeah. Hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, but all jokes aside, I'm your gracious host, Jalen, and you are welcomed to episode 12 of the Lazy Cast. And as you can see by the title, I've been gone, but good shit has been happening. We win. We won the Super Bowl. Rematch. But no, yeah, Eagles winning. Um, I was very heavy on the Ravens being the best team in the NFL, and I think they are still up there. But it, it's time to toot my own horn. It's time to rep my team. It's time to talk my shit. We're the best team in the NFL. Period. Point blank. There is no, ain't nothing else to discuss at that point. Ain't nothing else to discuss at that point. Who better than us? Who better than the Green, baby? Who better than the Eagles? What bird is messing with us? Ravens? No. Falcons? No. What other animal? Bengals? No. What other animal? Bills? No. What other racist thing? Chiefs? Chiefs? No. Commanders slash Redskins? No. No one else is messing with us, man. Stop playing with us. Stop. I'm very excited because I haven't done this in a minute. I haven't done this in a week to be exact. But yeah, man. Um, if you haven't guessed, it's gonna be week 11 recap, not just with the Eagles and the Chiefs, us winning, obviously, but with the in season tournament, which has been going stupid. It has been going very hard. We've actually had two teams clinch, I believe. What was it in the knockout round? They clinched a position into going into I guess the qualifiers, not the qualifiers, but the semifinals or qualifiers, whatever. They've It's the Pacers and the Lakers. The Pacers I think lost one game, and I think the Lakers haven't lost a single game in all of the group play. So I think they're currently 4-0, and LeBron done some historic LeBron shit. We'll get into that when we get into that. However, is fuck basketball. We ain't talking about basketball, baby. We talking about my boys, man. I need me some Eagles merch, man. That's what I need to do. When the pod takes off, we making Joe Rogan money, Tiana Trump money, you know, Pat McAfee money, ESPN money, all that type of money. Just when we making like rich money, I'm gonna deck out like my room or deck out my clothes or whatever the case may be, and to get in like just a bunch of Eagle shit, just a bunch of Eagle stuff, nothing but Eagle stuff. That's all I see, especially when we win the Super Bowl and shit. But yeah, bro, could you imagine if the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, whether it be against the Chiefs, whether it be against the Bills, whether it be against the Ravens, whoever meets us in the Super Bowl, Imagine us winning the Super Bowl this year, and in the NBA, the Bucks win the championship as well. Dog, I am coming on here talking so much shit to people. I'm going into every single Discord server, even if I'm not in one, telling people. I'm going into every story, sliding up on random people's stories, sliding up on family story, sliding up on grandparents, whoever. Random people in the street will know that my two teams have won the highest prize in all of sports. Two of the highest prizes in their respective sport, I should say. Um, you know what's crazy? Let me just switch this back because I'm not talking about the Eagles at all. You know what's crazy though? There's some people that go probably their entire lifetime and don't see their favorite team win a championship, whether and regardless of whatever sport. So the hundred year drought, I believe it was, when the Cubs didn't make it to not make it, but they didn't win a World Series, and then obviously in 2015, 16, I believe. Um, it's like that's crazy. I couldn't imagine being a fan of a team for so long. Like me being, say I grow to be 87 years old and I wasn't a fan of the Bucks or I wasn't a fan of the Eagles. Say I was a diehard Chicago fan and the Bears or the Bulls don't win a championship for all my 87, 90 plus years of living on this earth. I would be happy because I've been loyal to that one team in particular, but I'll be a little bit like, damn, y'all niggas still didn't figure it out. It's tough, man. Hey, not me though. You know what I'm saying? Not me though. I don't got that problem. I don't got that problem, baby. You know what I'm saying? Bucks winning in 2021. Ah, 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 ah. You know what I'm saying? And then Eagles winning 2017. I have too much energy. Anyway, but yeah, that's just something for food for thought, I guess. Just imagine being um a fan of a team and that team hasn't won a championship in your entire lifetime. Like you instill that on your kids, instill that on your family type shit, and they don't win in your entire generation or entire lifetime, and they don't win until like later on when your kids got kids type shit. That's crazy to me. That's wild. That's diehard loyalty right there. And when I be seeing like again, I use the Cubs as an example because they had like one of the longest droughts. Like fuck baseball, just in sports in general. I think it was like 100 some years or something like that, or close to 100 years. It was something drastic like that. So, and when they win, it was like people out the woodworks just crying, like, "Oh yes, we finally won." I was like, I wasn't even a huge Cubs fan, a huge baseball fan, but I felt some type of way. I'm like, yo, this is historic. Like, holy shit. Like, I don't know. Hey, this is crazy. But yeah, man, just let me know what y'all thoughts are. Let me know y'all favorite teams, y'all favorite franchises, organizations, things of that nature, whether it be football, basketball, baseball. Just make a list. Make a list of y'all favorite teams, man. Whatever sport, whatever, whatever team, favorite players are, all that good ish. Um, but yeah, like I mentioned, football and basketball, keeping it basic, keeping it to the simple, keeping it keeping it to the basics. I don't know what I just said. Keeping it basic. And yeah, with that being said, the Philadelphia Eagles, future Super Bowl champions, by the way, for the 2024 NFL season. Even though excuse me, we're not even in 2024 yet, but I'm looking ahead in time type shit. But yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles, the 9-1, best record in the league, by the way. 9-1 Philadelphia Eagles have defeated the Kansas City Chiefs, who sit at 7-3. Whew. I had to clear my throat when I talk about my boys. You know what I'm saying? You know, another one of my guys, Jalen in the gang. My Jalen boys. You know, my Jalen boys type shit. I got in whatever sport, whether it be baseball, football, basketball. You know, MMA, boxing. You know, if your name is Jalen and it's spelt the way I spell my name, Jalen, you automatically on the team, brother. You're on the team or close to my name, I should say. Because Jalen Brown, he spells his with a Y. He gets a pass because he's tough. He's good, obviously. One of the best two guards in all of the league. So he gets a pass. You know what I'm saying? But, it's similar to my name. You know what I'm saying? It's some other dudes in the league and stuff like that that don't spell their name with a Y. I mean, without a Y, shit like that. It's crazy how many people spell their name like Jalen, but they spell like I know some people that say Jailen, JA apostrophe ILEN. Like I'm like, all right, y'all niggas doing too much now. You niggas are doing way too much now. But anyway, on to the game. Now, I did not have the luxury of watching the game live. I know, fake fan, call me fake fan. However, I did catch a good chunk of the fourth quarter, and obviously I just watched the highlights. I caught majority of the fourth quarter. I saw the MVS Scantlin drop. And boy, when I tell you, whoo wee, that was something. He dropped that ball. In terms of Marquez, Pat put that thing on a dime. I'm not gonna lie. as and as much as I'm happy and excited, we got the best record, blah blah blah. We could have very much lost this game. This was a very good game. It was a very close game. By no means did I expect this game to be some type of a blowout or like we were gonna win 30-0 or nothing like that. I figured we were going to be very close. And with Kansas City, also one of the better teams in all of football, and they have the best player in the game, in Patrick Mahomes. I think he still is, even though he's having a down year. I still think Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league. No, I think it's kind of no question. Well, let me not say no question, but I feel like it's you know what I'm saying. I feel like it's debatable. It's debatable. It is debatable because he is having an off year, but I think like because you know what he can do and just his playoff success and Super Bowl success as well, and just his skill set as a whole, you know what he can do. You know the type of player. So I would still give him that moniker of being the best player in the league. Even though I don't think he's going to win MVP this year. It might go to Jalen Hurts because he's on the best team, good stats, things of that nature. Might go to Lamar. Might CJ Stroud. I've been seeing his name get thrown in there a lot lately because he's got the Texans in a winning record. He's having arguably one of the best rookie years ever. Like, holy shit. So I wish I would have waited to do my mid-season predictions because now the whole MVP race is like torn upside down. Now that's crazy, but live and learn, I guess. But yeah, quickly go over this game real quick so I can recap the rest of week of 11. But giving my thoughts on the game as a whole. For one, defensively, I thought we looked solid. As a whole, obviously in the first half, we were down, and offensively and defensively, we just didn't seem ourselves. And I speak about this. I've been speaking about this Eagles team all year long in terms of having our offense and our defense be on the same page for just one game. For one game, fuck it, one half. In that first half, nobody was on the same page. Our offense struggled, couldn't get anything going. Jalen Hurts, I believe, took 5 sacks. Very unusual for our O-line. But yeah, when you have Chris Jones, one of the best D tackles, D linemen in all of the game, and also I believe Kansas City was doing a lot of blitzing as well, sending a lot of pressure. Like they were sending multiple 4, 5, 6, shit, sometimes 7. They were just sending everybody at Jalen Hurts, not even giving him time to really set his feet and even look down the field without having at least 3 defenders in his face. So very smart on Andy Reid's part and all their coaching staff and things of that nature. So yeah, first half was a struggle. But the second half was, I think, one of the few times all season long that our offense and defense looked to be on the same page, and we looked solid as a unit, like strong as fuck. And I say this every single week when I'm talking about this team. Not every win is going to be a pretty win. Not every win is going to be, um, a blowout. I guess gotta win these ugly games, and to hold a Kansas City team, regardless of what they have on their offensive side of the ball, regardless of what they have in the wide receiver core, regardless of anything, they still have Andy Reid, Travis Kelsey, and Patrick Mahomes. Those three alone can win you any football game. Any football game. Now, is that team good enough to win a Super Bowl? That's a story for another day. I don't think so. I'd I'm gonna come back to Kansas City because I got some stuff I want to say about them. Um but yeah, not every not every win is gonna be pretty. And to hold those three, to hold that team scoreless, not even a field goal, scoreless, no safety, no touchdown, nothing. To hold them scoreless in the entire second half, again, Andy Reid, Travis Kelsey, Patrick Mahomes, and Isaiah Pacheco, who's going crazy as well, who's one of the best running backs in the league as well. Going ridiculous. And to hold them scoreless in the second half, even though our defense only got to Patrick one time because he was running his fucking head off and eluded about like 8 sacks. We were getting back there to him. It's just that even though the sack numbers aren't popping that at you, like compared to Kansas City in 5 to R1, we were back there in Patrick's face consistently. Hassan Reddick, I believe, had the only sack, but Jalen Carter was getting back there. Fletcher Cox, his old ass was getting back there. Brandon Graham, his older ass was getting back there. Hassan Reddick, one of the most underrated pass rushers in all the league, he was getting back there consistently. Boy, consistently. He was chasing that man, Patrick. He was chasing Patrick down out that pocket. Man, look. If you haven't seen, go back and watch the highlights and watch RD line, get back there to him constantly, because as much as Kansas City was sending multiple blitzes, and those blitzes would cause Jalen Hurts to come up, which would allow Chris Jones, who I believe who had 2 sacks, back to back almost, I think also, um, on Hurts. Really, we didn't blitz that much, weren't blitz heavy that much because our D line is just that fucking good. It's just that strong. Like I mentioned, all week long, not week, all year long, we have probably the best D line in all of the league, in all of the NFL. No question. You have vets, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. You got young dudes, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, underrated players, all-star caliber dudes, and Hassan Reddick, other young players like N'Kobe Dean that you can rush at the QB and things of that nature. We got the best D line in all of the NFL. I don't even think it's close. I don't think it's close. Well, let me not say close, but I think it's fuck it. Nah, it's not close. It's not close. You know what? I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of trying to, take other teams' feelings into account, other fans. No, it's not close. We have the best D line in all of football. I don't want to hear the 49ers. I don't want to hear Dallas. I don't want to hear Cleveland. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear no one else. Nobody else. Nobody else. Buffalo? No. No. I don't want to hear no one else. Nobody else. Best D line, damn near the best O line as well. You got Detroit up there. I will 100% give Detroit their credit, but you got Detroit up there as well in terms of O line. But we up there too. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying. But other than that, what else happened? AJ Brown, they had him on the sideline complaining again. I put those in air quotes because the nigga wasn't complaining. Dude came off of having a 6-game streak of putting up 125 plus yards. And I believe right after that game got close to it again and put up like close to 100 yards or actually put up 100 yards. I don't think he was complaining. I'm not going to sit here and say that the media is trying to tear the earth down or propaganda. No, I just think in that moment, in the heat of the moment, just frustrated. He said it himself multiple times I believe in like the second or third week when it happened. I think it was the second week when he did it the first time against the Vikings, and him and Jalen Hurts not even had not even, let me not say altercation. It was a conversation between two players, a quarterback, a star quarterback, and a star wide receiver. Them two have to be on the same page, regardless. So that's in both those dudes on one of the best teams, arguably the best team in all of the NFL, have high expectations for not just one another, but for themselves as well. I highly fucking doubt. I highly doubt that this is anything serious. Highly doubt that this is AJ Brown complaining, bitching, whatever your word you want to use. Dude just want to win. He just want to win. And what's so great about this Eagles team is if AJ Brown has an off night, guess what we have on the other side of that fucking ball to throw to? Devonta Smith, brother. Big six, man. Dog had himself a fucking game before I even get into the stats. Had himself a game. And I'm happy for two reasons. One, because he's on my fantasy team and he actually had himself a good game. I love AJ Brown. I love he's been doing good. But god damn it, if you've had Devonta Smith on your fantasy team, you know the struggle it's been. You know the struggle it's been lately because AJ Brown's been getting every single target, every target, every target, every target. I believe he had like one great game. I believe he had one solid game in like that little stretch that was going on. Other than that, Devonta was not getting the ball. He wasn't. He wasn't getting the ball because every single time it was going to AJ Brown or it was getting handed off to DeAndre Swift. Devonta wasn't getting the ball. He just wasn't. So I was happy we were winning. I was happy AJ was happy. But damn it, please just throw him the ball. And he had himself a game. So shouts out to Devonta Smith. Also, another reason why I'm happy is that it still instills confidence in him. And it still shows that, yo, we're still one of the best offenses in the league. Without question. We're still one of the best teams in the league. Really should be undefeated if not Jalen Hurts having probably his worst game as a starter against the Jets. But yeah, on top of that, we're doing all this without Dallas Goedert, our tight end. Jalen Hurts didn't have the best game because again, this was a really defensive minded, defensive battle type of a game. So I'm fine with Hurts putting up 150 yards on top because you look at the other side, Pat only put up 177. So that's what 20 plus yard, 25-yard difference. So yeah, again, I'm happy we won this game and it was a good test for us because defensively the defense showed me something, boy. Again, like I mentioned, I'm gonna get into Kansas City in a second, but the defense showed me something to hold Patrick Mahomes and their offense scoreless, not a field goal. They didn't get 2 field goals. They didn't get, you know what I'm saying? They didn't get no safety. They didn't get no touch. Nothing. 0 points. A goose egg. Nothing for the entire second half. That shows me something quite a bit. And on top of that, this gives us a lot of confidence because we're going to take on the Bills next week. We're going to take the Bills on. And they're coming off of a big win against beating the Jets like 32-6 or some shit like that. So That should be another good game and another big test because essentially you got two potential Super Bowl matchups back to back weeks. Realistically, we could meet the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, or realistically, we could meet the Bills in the Super Bowl if they turn it around and figure it out. So these will really be two huge tests for us. Obviously, we passed one. Now we just got to get past another. So, and all the people that was comparing AJ Brown to Stephon Diggs, stop it. The whole Stephon Diggs situation, I think, is also stupid. We get so quick to. Can you see my hands? They ashy. We get so quick to call these wide receivers divas, and you know all this other stuff. But I don't it, and I hate to do this, but you see, I'm gonna just use Stephon Diggs. You see Stephon Diggs blow up on the sideline because he's angry, he's frustrated. Back when they were losing and not underperforming, he was underperforming, not getting the ball, this, and the third, yada 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 yada. He gets called a drama queen. He gets every negative thing thrown at him at the book. A lot of star wide receivers get that. T.O., OBJ when he was with the Giants, A.J. Brown now, Stephon Diggs. The list goes on and on and on and on. But you see Tom Brady be on the sideline, throw his iPad, motherfucker. Angry because somebody missed the route. Angry because the team's underperforming. Angry because the O-line didn't block. Angry because he missed an easy throw down the field. Angry this, that, and the third. Oh, but he has so much passion. He has so much fire for the game. That's such a competitor. What's the difference? What's the difference? The difference is the position. For some reason, wide receivers have this stigma of being drama queens. And yes, some wide receivers are drama queens. Some of them are. Some of them are a case. Some of them are too much drama to handle. But that doesn't, because they show their passion and they're excited, not excited, but they're passionate about the game and they're underperforming, the team's underperforming. Or it could be a mixture of other things. All of a sudden, they get that label of drama queen. Make it make sense. Also, I don't think it helped that Trayvon Diggs, his brother, QB, cornerback for the Cowboys. It didn't help that dude said, "Give him the fuck up out." It didn't help that he said, "Get him out of there." Like he needs help, or Stephon Diggs needs to leave. Like he shouldn't be in Buffalo no more. Not because he's ass, because he's like, "Yo, help my brother out." So that didn't help. That added more fuel to the fire type shit. But I don't think it's. Let's calm down on the throwing that drama queen word around on wide receivers. Because if y'all not finna go do that for these quarterbacks that's pulling that same shit, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, all these QBs that be getting mad on this sideline, shit like that. Cam Newton, I'm throwing Cam. He's my favorite QB ever. Getting mad on the sideline, shit like that. But they got so much fire. They got so much passion. They're competitors. They just want to win. Keep that same energy, dog. Be fucking for real. Be FFR. That is the slogan of the day. That is the slogan of this pod every single week, every single day, every single Tuesday, Friday. Yes, I'm keeping it Tuesday, Friday, even though this is not on a Tuesday. However, be FFR. Be fucking for real. Come on now. Anyway, looking at the Eagles, Jalen Hurts completed 14 of his 22 passing attempts, 150 yards, no touchdowns, one pick, sacked 5 times, like I mentioned. DeAndre Swift had himself a day, 12 rushes, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. And Jalen Hurts, 29 rushing yards, 12 attempts, and 2 touchdowns. One was the brotherly shove and a nice little QB draw that gave him a tutty. Looking at receiving, we have Devonta Smith, like I mentioned, had himself a day. 6 receptions, 99 yards, basically 100 yards, 0 touchdowns. And DeAndre Swift had 31 receiving yards and 3 receptions. AJ Brown had 4 targets, 1 reception, 8 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Like I mentioned, I don't think it's anything serious. I don't think it's anything serious. I highly, highly doubt it's anything serious. And I normally don't go over defense like that. But this man right here, Kevin Bird, oh my God. Oh my God. This man not only getting a pick in the end zone on Patrick Mahomes, which was really such a game changer, 2 pass deflections. One was on Travis Kelsey, who struggled. Man was flying all in and out, back and forth, all throughout of that secondary. This man right here, perfect, perfect pickup. What boy? Without him, we probably lose that game. I'm gonna be honest. Without Bird at that safety position, we probably lose that game. I'm just be honest. Or it's gonna be harder than it needs to be. And that game was already hard as it is. So yeah. Now on to the Chiefs. Big Screamy. Thank you, DJ. The Chiefs. Now, like I mentioned, they still have that trifecta. Andy Reid, Travis Kelsey, and Patrick Mahomes. Shit, you can throw in Isaiah Pacheco because he, like I mentioned, one of the best running backs in the league. Man runs like he's trying to stick his foot through the earth every single time he touches the ball. Great guy. However, that wide receiver room deserves to get their hands glued shut. Just glue them shut. Glue them in the fist. Because my goodness, did they underperform. Just everyone in that wide receiver room, just glue their hands shut like this. Just glue them shut. Might be better catching the ball like this than actually how you're supposed to catch it. Because not to mention with MVS's, Marquez's essentially game winning drop. He catches that ball, they probably win the game. Let's be honest. He dropped it. Pat threw it on the button. Literally, the ball coming. Ball was right here in his hand. He dropped it. And they brought him back from last season because, you know, a familiar face, a familiar, you know, receiver for Pat to throw to. He hasn't shown up. Kadarius Toney, everyone expected him to have a leap this year after his big Super Bowl performance. Don't got Juju to rely on, even though that's crazy. As crazy as that sounds, Juju actually held his weight. Another veteran wide receiver for Patrick throw too. He's gone. Uh, Sidney Rice, he's young, so can't really expect too much work from him. And I believe Justin Watson is also young, so can't expect too much from him. That's really it. Out of all those names, I would be very upset if I'm Patrick Mahomes, if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs. One, because they are going to regret not making a move at that trade deadline. Kansas City, 1,000% should have made a move for a wide receiver at the trade deadline. I was of wholehearted belief whether or not they would have got Mike Evans or not, because he was in a lot of trade talks coming into the season after Brady retired. Whether it would have been Mike Evans or not, whether it would have been somebody else, they needed something new, something fresh in that wide receiver room, something reliable for Pat to go to. because Travis Kelce, as great as he is also having an off year. I'm not even going to allude to all the Taylor Swift shit. I don't even think it was because of that. Because even before Taylor was coming to the games, Travis Kelce wasn't having his usual Travis Kelce year. So even before the whole Travis and Taylor Swifties and all this shit, Travis was having an average year. And for Travis Kelce, one of the best tight ends ever, not just this year, but ever, is having an okay year, doesn't help. It doesn't help. Doesn't help. It doesn't help that he dropped a couple passes. He fumbled last night. I mean, not last night, Monday. So get Pat some help. And they brought back in MVS. Great, reliable. He hasn't shown up. Trade deadline was the perfect time for them to go get somebody. They didn't have to go get a splash. They didn't need to go get Terry McLaurin. They didn't need to go get Mike Evans. They didn't need to go get fucking Justin Jefferson. I'm not saying they need to go get a D1, A1, one of one wide receiver, but some fucking body, somebody, someone, anyone at this point, move Kadarius Toney, move Sidney Rice, move them. Just get them niggas out of there. Get them out. Get them out. Send them niggas gone. Send them packing. Because Pat is going to lose his mind throwing the ball to these dudes. He's going to lose it. He's going, I know I'm losing and I'm not even having a football in my hand throwing it to him. Because this is not the first goddamn time. This isn't the first time. The very first game of the season, they could have won. The very first game of the season, they could have won. But what was happening? The wide receivers couldn't catch the ball. What happened this game? The wide receivers couldn't catch the ball. And it's not even up to defense. The defense did their job. Defense did their job. Eagles offense, like I mentioned, all game long struggled. We struggled to get the offense going, at least through the air. Running the ball, that's different. We ran the ball pretty fucking good. But in terms of passing the ball, defense did their thing. And the whole thing was on to 21 points. Is an A plus in my book, man. They had us clamped up, especially in that first half. Especially in the first half. So come on now, dog. Like I mentioned, Kansas City should 100% made a move at the trade deadline. Could they have? Probably because they didn't have the money. Who knows? Blah, blah, blah. But y'all had to do something. I thought that would have been the perfect time to make a move, shake something up. Whether they would have got a Mike Evans, whether they would have got Mike Williams, Quentin Johnson, somebody. I don't know. Maybe these wide receivers that I just mentioned prove me wrong and they all, band together and be the reliable source that Pat needs. Or maybe this is a continuous trend. They make it to the playoffs. God forbid the Super Bowl. And it's the same shit every time. Pat is making great plays, great throws, extending plays. He was doing that damn near every drive, damn near every play, damn near every possession. Getting rushed, O-line collapses, scramble out, sitting outside the pocket, moving, hit someone, boop, drops it out of his hand. I would lose my shit if I was Pat Mahomes. I would lose my shit. Lose it. I would lose it. If Kansas City does not make a move, this offseason to go acquire the many wide receivers that's probably going to be on the market, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, like I mentioned, they better be drafting and keeping an eye out on these fucking wide receivers in college. They better be drafting smart and drafting careful. Because if you don't pick someone up in this offseason, you better draft good. Because I'm telling you right now, y'all don't want to make this nigga Pat unhappy in Kansas City. Y'all don't want to make this nigga unhappy in KC. Just tell you now. Just tell you now. I'm not saying he's gonna leave. I'm not saying it's gonna be bad. I'm not saying that they won't be a great team. With Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be a playoff team regardless, because he alone can win you games. It's evident. He's done it. All I'm saying is, if you want this team, you want Kansas City to continuously be Super Bowl contenders. Are they Super Bowl contenders right now? Yes. Will they do they have a chance of winning the Super Bowl? Fuck no. I don't think they win the Super Bowl. I I think what I mean when I say Super Bowl contenders, I think they have a chance to win the Super Bowl just for the simple fact of the three-headed monster that they have in Andy Reid, Travis Kelsey, and Patrick Mahomes, and a solid defense as well. But everything else about that team doesn't move me. And by everything else, I mean that wide receiver core does not move me at all, because God forbid Travis Kelsey has an off game. God forbid Isaiah Pacheco can't run the ball, can't get anything going. God forbid Pat Mahomes can't get nothing going. You know what I'm saying? So that's they're 100% gonna regret not making a move at the deadline. I don't know if I don't know Casey's situation in terms of money. I know Pat reworked his deal to where I think he's not getting as much money or something like that. I remember this season or coming into the season, it was talking about him reworking his deal, stuff like that. So I know all that. I understand all that. He reworked his deal, so I think he's not getting that much, but it's for long years, something like that. So I think so they have more money to get players and shit like that. But yeah, man. And what's crazy, they might lose Chris Jones this year. They might lose Chris Jones in his offseason because he's under a 1 year deal with a shit ton of incentives. So they might lose him in the offseason if they don't bring him back. And that's a huge blow to the defense. That's a huge blow. So we'll see, man. I don't again, do I think Kansas City can make the Super Bowl? Absolutely. They have Patrick Mahomes. They can do whatever, they can do anything. Do I think they'll win the Super Bowl? No. No. If I'm being honest, I don't think they make it out the AFC Championship. Because it's just too many good teams in the AFC right now. The Bills are starting to get their feet back wet. Baltimore still Baltimore. The Bengals is still around. Miami, if they get their shit together. Jacksonville, if they go on the street. Like, it's too many hot teams. It's too many hot teams in the AFC. It's just too many. And why I feel like the Eagles are a lock in the NFC, because outside of like really the Cowboys and the 49ers, who else is really going to challenge us for that shit? Not the Seahawks, not the Bears, not the Vikings. Really nobody else. So 9 times out of 10, the Cowboys are going to face somebody in the divisional. Probably us. Or probably San Fran. So one of them is going to take each other out. And then NFC Championship, we're going to face one of them. And if we lose, we lose. If we win, Super Bowl bound. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, yeah. But yeah, man. Like I mentioned, Kansas City is going to regret not making a move for a wide receiver. That's all I'm saying. They're 100% going to regret not making a move for a wide receiver. It sucks because it's evident that they needed one all season long, like a legit one, not like a legit number one wide receiver. Because who's their number one wide receiver right now? Marquez? Like wide receiver one. It'd probably be Marquez, honestly. And then what wide receiver two would be what? Sidney Rice or Kadarius Toney? One of the two? Because Tony's more of a slot / special teams guy. So I guess, but I don't know, man. Let's just go over these stats. Patrick Mahomes completed 24 of his 43 passing attempts, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and was sacked once. Isaiah Pacheco, 19 rushes, 69 I said 69, 89 yards. Pat Mahomes also had 38 rushing yards as well. Justin Watson, like I mentioned, had 11 targets, 5 receptions, 53 yards, 1 touchdown. Travis Kelce, 7 receptions, 44 yards, and 1 touchdown. I said Sydney. I've been calling this man Sydney Rice this whole time. That's Rasheed Rice. I'm so sorry. Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice, 4 receptions, 42 yards, and Marquez, like I mentioned, 3 targets, and probably the biggest drop of the game winning touchdown, potential game winning touchdown. That just slivered right through his fingers. Now I'm going to quickly go through all these games. If you haven't guessed, we won't be talking about week 10 because took a little week off. But nevertheless, trust me, I know everything that happened. I was aware. Just because I don't see nothing on here doesn't mean I don't know what's going on. So I was very aware of what's been happening in the league, in both the NFL and NBA. Why did I just click on this? Anyway, a team that's been shocking the world and shocking the league, taking the league by storm, the Denver Broncos, probably two of the hottest teams right now. Coming into this game, I should say. Vikings, I believe, won 5 in a row. And Denver's won 4 in a row. So no, the Vikings won 5 in a row coming in this game, and Denver won 4 in a row. That's what it was. Because I was like, I know both of them had some type of winning streak or some shit like that. So the Denver Broncos, the 5-5 Denver Broncos, somehow escaped from playoff elimination, beat the Minnesota Vikings 21-20. Russell Wilson is looking like his former self, is looking like he's back in that top 10 conversation of wide receivers. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy what, a good coach, okay coach, and just a season in the system and some confidence to do to you. But looking at these stats, we got Russell Wilson completed 27 of his 35 passing attempts, 260 yards, a touchdown, and no picks. Javonte Williams rushed the ball for 37 yards, no touchdown. Sutton had 4 receptions and 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Jerry Jeudy had 5 receptions and 58 yards, and Jean Pierre had 7 receptions along with 60 receiving yards. Again, another defensive-minded game, another defensive battle. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a fairly good game. Who had the touchdown? Yeah, it was the game-winning touchdown to Cortland Sutton that essentially won them the game. Josh Dobbs, solid, decent day. Completed 20 of his 32 passing attempts, 221 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Alexander Madison had 18 rushes, 81 yards. Dobbs also had 21 rushing yards along with a touchdown. Olave had 47 reception yards along with a touchdown, and TJ Hawkinson had 55 receiving yards with no touchdown on the day. So, all in all, great win for the Denver Broncos. And also on top of that, count it as Mickey all you want. They have some really solid wins. Like in this 4-game winning streak, they have wins over the likes of the Bills. Wait, let me make sure, because I know they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Bills. What else? They beat the Chiefs, the Bills. Who else did they beat? There it is. They beat the Vikings, Bills, Chiefs, and Green Bay. So yeah, Those 4 games outside of Green Bay, these are all teams with winning records, and 2 of the teams are essentially 2 of the best teams in all of the NFL. So, I forgot I wasn't sharing my tab. Sorry, but yeah, this is looking at the Broncos 4 game winning streak that they have going on. Just beat the Vikings, obviously winning record 6-5. Just to beat the Bills. Know what the Bills do. Just to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, not just beat, but they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Know what they do. And outside of the Packers, who doesn't have a winning record, they beat them. So they went from 1-5 to 5-5. So shout out to the Chiefs, man. I mean, shout out to the Broncos, man. Somehow, some way, sit at second place, I believe, in the AFC West. Yeah, second place behind the Chiefs. So somehow, some way, might fucking make the playoffs. We'll see. We shall see. Um, but speaking of the Bills, the 6-5 Bills beat the 4-6 Jets. There's really nothing crazy to talk about in this game. Opposed from the Jets got smacked badly. And Buffalo, after having a bad loss in week 10, bouncing back. There we go. Bouncing back after a bad loss last week. Solid win. Much needed win to shut up everybody that was talking about them. And I mean, came out, did what they were supposed to do. Seahawks lose 16-17 to the Rams. I believe they're still in first place or tied for first. I believe they're actually. I believe in the NFC. What is it? West. What is it? Yeah, NFC West. They're in second place behind the 49ers. Okay, and they play this Thursday as well. So, this Thursday as in tomorrow. So that essentially be battle for first place in the NFC West. Speaking of 49ers, the 49ers beat the Tampa Bay Bucks 27-14. The Dolphins beat the Raiders 20-13. The Commanders lose badly to the Giants 31-19. Yeah, I'm never picking the Commanders defense ever again. The one time I was like, you know what? They're playing the Giants. The Giants are historically bad. They've been historically bad all season long. Let me bet on the Commanders. The one time. And these niggas get 31 dropped on their head. Yeah, never again, bro. The Packers beat the Chargers. Justin Herbert is... Man, it's free Justin Herbert till it's backwards, bro. Oh, man. I feel for him. I feel for that guy, man. It's really crazy because he's really just turning into Phillip Rivers 2.0, just with a better arm and more athletic. But, yeah, 2 teams that I did not expect to have winning records this year, but have winning records. The 7-3 Browns. Let me say that again. The 7-3 Cleveland Browns beat the 6-4 Pittsburgh Steelers 13-10. Hey man. Defense is a hell of a thing. The Myles Garrett versus TJ Watt game, and they both showed out. I believe they both had sacks this game too, or multiple sacks this game. So the Lions beat the Bears 31-26. Lions are sitting at 8-2, comfortably in the NFC North. The Cowboys demolished the Panthers. Nothing new. CJ Stroud and the Texans, like I mentioned earlier, even though he didn't have himself the greatest of games, still a solid win nevertheless. 21-16 over the Cards. The Jacksonville Jaguars bounced back after a horrendous loss against the 49ers last week and beat the Titans 34-14. And the Ravens beat the Bengals 34-20, pushing their record to 8-3. Now, um, do I want to? You know what? I rarely do this, but because I'm in such a good mood, I'm in such a you dig, you know what I'm saying? I'm in such a good mood. I'm in such a high spirits and things of that nature. I'm gonna give predictions for week 12. So I rarely do this because I just like talking about football all in one condensed thing. That's why I never talk about what is it? I never talk about Thursday night football the week of, or I mean the on Friday, because it's just I don't really like doing that. So obviously Thanksgiving is this week, so happy early Thanksgiving, I guess, to everybody that celebrates it. We have the Packers taking on the Lions. The Commanders going to Dallas, and the game of the night, like I mentioned, Battle of the NFC West. The 49ers are taking on the Seahawks. And then on Thanksgiving, we have the Dolphins playing the Jets. All of these games should be interesting just for the simple fact, outside of the Commanders game, I don't think the Commanders put up any type of a fight, if I'm being honest. And probably the Jets too. I think the Jets lose by a lot. But the two interesting games should be these two. I don't know why. I just feel like Green Bay is gonna put up a crazy fight, especially if Jair is playing. It'd be interesting to see him guard Amon St. Brown. Um, so this should be a fun game. I would have the Lions winning it. However, especially at home, it'd be fun. However, this one could go realistically either way. I would want to lean towards the 49ers, but I would not be surprised if Seattle wins this game, especially with first place being on the line. But I'm going to go with my gut and I'm going to say the 49ers. Chase Young and Nick Bosa is just entirely too much for any offensive line to handle. Geno Smith hasn't had the greatest season this year. DK, same thing. Team as a whole has been, I don't want to say bad because they're in second place. They're a playoff team, but they just been kind of stagnant. They haven't really showed me anything, worthwhile, I guess you could say. In these two games, I don't even think there's the Cowboys are winning by 20 and the Dolphins I think are gonna win by like 15 or some shit. But yeah, I would lean towards Lions, let's say 24-15, 24-14, and 49ers 34-27. So yeah. And then moving on, the 26th, November 26th, couple days after Thanksgiving, a couple days after everybody then ate and digested all that food. We got the Colts taking on the Bucks. I'm gonna lean towards Bucks in this game. The Jags going to Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans are hot right now, but I'm gonna lean towards Jacksonville just a little bit. Battle of the ass with the Panthers taking on the Titans. I'm gonna go Panthers. I'm gonna go Titans. Um, the Patriots going against the Giants. I'm gonna say Patriots because Bill Belichick loves him some rookie quarterbacks. The Saints going against the Falcons. I'll lean towards Falcons. Bengals going against the Steelers. I'm gonna say Bengals, even though the Steelers for some reason is going to somehow, some way luck their way into another win and be 7-4. I don't know how, but they just will. So yeah, I'm gonna say Bengals though. Browns going against the Broncos. I'm gonna say Broncos, even though that Browns defense is going to have a field day with Russell Wilson. They are going to get back to that man consistently. And the Rams and the Cardinals. Let's just go on a whim and say Cardinals. Now on to the good games. Oh my God, these all could be legit games of the week, any other week. All of these prime time ass games. The Bills versus the Eagles, Chiefs going against the Raiders, Ravens going to LA to take on the Chargers, and the Bears playing the Vikings. again. Obviously, I'm gonna say Eagles. We just beat the Chiefs, even though the Bills are very hot right now, coming off beating the Jets. But we ain't the Jets, nigga. Shit, if we played the Jets, we probably beat them niggas 32-6 again. But yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna lean towards Eagles, especially being at home. Our defense, even if our offense is not performing the way I would like it to be, our defense is still, very fucking solid. Um, shown we can get back to so we can get back there to mobile quarterbacks. Shown like how we was able to get back there and constantly put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, and I believe we can do the same with Josh Allen. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Eagles, 30-25. Chiefs and the Raiders. I'm hoping. This is me hoping. I am hoping Patrick Mahomes has a good game for two reasons. One is involved in fantasy because I'm starting him. And I really need him to go off because I'm kind of on the losing streak in one of my leagues. I'm still in playoff contention, but I'm on like a little losing streak in one of my leagues. And I have him on in both my leagues. So I need him to go crazy. And he relatively does go crazy against the Raiders. It never fails. So I would really appreciate it, Patrick, if you're watching this, if you ever stumble upon this, I would really, really appreciate it if you go crazy against these Raiders. I need like 430 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks type shit. 50 passes thrown, completed 49 of them. Like, I need that type of shit. So I'm going to say Chiefs. It's plus, I think they bounce back after a terrible performance against the Eagles. Let me not say terrible, but a bounce back over having a bad performance against the Eagles too. So I'm going to lean Chiefs. I'm going to say they put up like 40 on these niggas. 45-27. Ravens against the Chargers. I feel bad for Justin Herbert, like I mentioned. Free Justin Herbert till it's backwards. But I'm gonna say Ravens. 24-7. Bears to the Vikings. You know what? I'm gonna say Bears because they were very close to beating the Lions, who are a better team. I'm gonna say Bears 24-21 on Monday night prime time. So those are all my predictions. Let me know y'all's predictions down in the comments below. And this whole time I had it on Eagles win Super Bowl matchup. Just know that whole time that was Week 11 recap. Just know the whole time that was the Week 11 recap. Just I forgot to change it. But enough of basketball. I mean, enough of football. Moving on to basketball as we talk about this in-season tournament last night, as we have officially 2 teams that have clinched their ways into these, what was it? I believe it was these qualifying rounds or semi-rounds out of group play. And those 2 teams being the Pacers and the Los Angeles Lakers. So, before anything, let's look at before we go over the stats and everything, let's go over the actual standings and see how everything is going. So, okay, so I was wrong. The Pacers haven't lost the game. So, in Group A, we have Pacers, Cavs, Sixers, Hawks, Detroit. Detroit, they've been eliminated. Hawks, very close. Sixers, yeah. And obviously you got the Cavs and the Pacers. The Pacers, A-okay. They've clinched. They moved on. Their next game is against Detroit, so they'll most likely go undefeated. Looking at East Group B, we have 2 undefeated teams in the Bucks and the Heat, and then the Wizards, who've also been eliminated. Charlotte most likely is going to be eliminated soon as they play the Knicks next. And then we have Miami going against Milwaukee. So somebody's going to lose that undefeated as game 4. And then Milwaukee's going to play Washington. And then these 2 are going to play. So it should be fun. But yeah, it should be fun. So yeah. No team, however, is clinched in East Group B or C, as we have the Celtics being undefeated. Their next game against Orlando and then Chicago, Brooklyn, and both Orlando are 2-1. The Raptors, who's most likely probably going to get eliminated soon, and maybe also the Bulls, as they're two tough games back to back for both these teams. So yeah, I'm predicting that the Celtics probably clinch going forward. Moving to the West, we have the Lakers, the first, I think not the first team. The Pacers were the first team, but the second team to again play all four games and win all four games. So we have the Lakers being 4-0. Their wins over Phoenix, Memphis, Portland, and Utah. Bron said it himself, "Hey man, we coming for that 500K, boy. We coming for that 500K. Hey, I don't blame him. Get that money, brother." Um, as we see, the Suns most likely going to be in the wild card. And also with it being an in-season tournament, obviously the record means a lot, but also point differential and points as a whole probably means more or just as much. So and because I remember one game, I forgot what game it was. What game was it? It was involving Joel Embiid and the Sixers. Was it against Orlando? I mean, what game? It was against Indiana, I believe. It was against Indiana or Detroit, one of the two, because they was on the blue court. Um, but yeah, Joel took a three at the end of the fourth quarter as like the time was running out. And people was like, "Oh, Joel, why would you? That's disrespectful." Blah blah blah. For one, that man knows how this in season tournament work because he watches FIBA and football and you know involved with the Olympics, yada yada yada. Two, the whole point of this, for one, you really want to score the most points possible because God forbid, let's say, let's just keep these two as an example. Let's say these two have that's the exact same record. They both finish at 2-2. They both finished 2-2. The Cavs go on to lose to Atlanta and they finish at 2-2. So we got a three-way tie for second in these three teams. What's gonna determine it is this: the points. The points. How many points you scored. So the entire goal of this is to put up the most amount of points if this ends up in a tie. Obviously, you want to have the best record regardless. Like you don't want to purposely go out there and lose games and just put up a shit ton of points. You want to put up a bunch of points and also win games. However, if it does come down to a tie, it's whoever has the most points that moves on. So, just in case y'all didn't know that. But yeah, most likely the Suns are gonna clinch a wild card spot. Pels are 2-1 along with the Denver Nuggets. Rockets are 1-1. Mavs are 1-2. Clippers are 1-2. Um, and moving to West Group C, two undefeated teams in the Timberwolves and the Kings, both 2-0. Warriors are 1-1. Thunder's 1-2, and the Spurs are gone. So yeah, also here's the tiebreaker rules. Also, if y'all want to look, like I mentioned, point differential, total points, prior season regular record, head to head in the record, head to head record in the group stage. So if for some reason they're tied, they're gonna go to this. If they're tied in this, they're gonna go to this. If they're tied in this, gotta pull up the Carfax from last season. So yeah, man. But yeah, not too much on these shooting at the end of the buzzer. You honestly want to do that shit. If I'm being honest, you kind of want to do that. But yeah, let's look at last night's games. Nothing too crazy, just some history being made involving the Lakers with LeBron James surpassing 39K. The only NBA player obviously leads every single NBA player in the most points scored ever. But on top of that, has surpassed 39,000 points, which I don't see that being passed for quite a long time. So yeah, but looking at last night's games, we have the Magic losing. What am I saying? The Magic beating the Raptors 126-107. Paulo had himself a game 25-5-3, as well as Pascal having a quiet 16-8. Another fucking close ass game. Holy shit. Obviously, because this game was so close. Went into overtime 122-119. The Cavs beat the Sixers. Darius Garland had himself a game. What is with Joel Embiid and these assists? This man is having a lot of assists this year. I mean, I don't hate it, but I didn't think on the cards I would be expecting Joel Embiid to be having like decent assist numbers. Like, what is he averaging in terms of assists? Let me look real quick. I just want to see. He's averaging 6 assists this year? Holy shit. That's actually, hold on. In case y'all think I'm lying. He's actually really good. Yeah, he's averaging 6 assists this year. In his last 5 games, he's put up 7. Damn, that's not bad. Shout out Joel. That's really good. Obviously, without Harden being there, so a lot of the ball handling and playmaking lands on Tyrese Maxey. But excuse me, shout out to Joel for stepping up. Excuse me. Let me see how much Maxey is averaging in terms of assists. 7. That's nice. The last 5 games, he's putting up 6.6. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. So you got your point guard who's giving you fucking 27, 5, and 7. And on top of that, you have a big all-star caliber, MVP caliber big who's putting up 32, 11, and 6 on 61% true shooting. That's tough. That's tough as fuck. Philly is very, very good. Like I mentioned, those top 3 Eastern seed teams in between what is it? Philly, Atlanta, Philly, Milwaukee, and Boston. It's interchangeable. It's really interchangeable. That's why it was so hard for me to pick. It's so interchangeable. But yeah, shout out to Philly, man, but also shout out to Cleveland, who's finally getting healthy and finally starting to get some wins under their belt. And this, again, even though it's in-season tournament play, still a big win, nevertheless. Darius Garland, 32-5-8. Joel Embiid, 32-13-5. Essentially his not career numbers, but his season numbers right now. Solid. Damn. Defense don't exist. 157-152. The Pacers, like I mentioned, the first team to clinch a qualifying spot going into the next round, beats the Atlanta Hawks 157-152. Tyrese, it is time to have a conversation about you, Tyrese. It is time to have a conversation about Tyrese Halliburton. Now let's not forget this nigga because he put up 38-8. But it is time to have a conversation about Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, lordy, 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 lordy. I forget there's 2 Tyreses. I typed in the name Tyrese, and both Tyrese Maxey and Tyrese Halliburton popped up. It's time to have a conversation about this man. Averaging 25, 4, and 12. Looking at the turnovers, also for this season, what is the averages for turnovers? Only 2.6, opposed to 12 on the year. This guy's nice. This guy is pretty good at basketball, if I do say so myself. This guy's pretty good at this basketball shit, man. That's all I have to say. All jokes aside, this guy might be top 5 in the league in the point guard position. Let me clarify that. Top 5 at that point guard position. Obviously, you got Steph and Luka up there. Dame is up there. But that 4-5 spot, man, is it him, De'Aaron Fox? Might be. Who you have at that 4 and 5? Up to you. Shit, you can make an argument that he's having a better year than Dame right now in terms of just straight up performance. Even though he has one of the ugliest looking jump shots I've ever seen in my life in Tyrese Halliburton, he is one of the best, probably the best playmakers in the league today. This crazy stat that I saw on Instagram when I was looking at his league play, in-season tournament play, and was it in his first 2 games in the in-season tournament, 32 assists to 0 turnovers. I know we have Jokic in the league, but this guy is arguably the best playmaker up there alongside him, and I keep forgetting to change the goddamn thing. Now we're on NBA. Obviously, just ignore it. I just forgot to change it. But yeah, you can make the argument that he's probably the best playmaker in the league, or one of the best especially at the point guard position. Him and Luka. The numbers speak for itself. The team speaks for itself. He's got the Pacers right now at 8-6. Looking at the standings, the regular season standings, I would assume they're a top 5 seed in the East. I would assume so. That they're a top 5 seed in the East. Or they're top 6. They're what? Damn near tied with Orlando. Basically tied with Orlando. For that 5th seed, or really 4th seed, because Orlando and Miami are tied at 4, and then you got Indiana with 1 game behind them. So, yeah, man, it's time to have a conversation. This guy's top 5 at that point guard spot. Like I mentioned, you got him, well, in the top 3, and you can make an argument that him and De'Aaron Fox could be 3, but as of right now, really Steph, Luka, Dame, and then 4 and 5, De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Halliburton. I just believe he's in there. Let me just quickly look at Dame's numbers real quick. Obviously, numbers don't tell all, be all, isn't the end all, be all of really anything. This season, looking at his numbers, putting up 25, 4, and 6 on okay shooting splits. Not okay. These are ass shooting splits. Was that 40? Was that 40%, 32%? Not the greatest shooting splits. That's why I said you can make the argument for Tyrese or De'Aaron Fox being top 3 in the league at that point guard position. Just for the simple fact that Dame, he's not having the greatest start to this season, but he's still putting up quality numbers. So, but if you want to base it off, you know what the fuck he can do. This guy is really good. Blah, blah, blah. It's up to you. Again, I would kind of lean towards having him maybe hover around that 4-3 spot. And just let's look at Fox's numbers for this season real quick. Yeah, he's that guy as well, putting up essentially 34 and 5. Last 5 games, been putting up crazy numbers, shooting splits, putting up 43% from the field and 38-ish% from the 3-point line. This guy's nice. This guy's fucking nice at basketball. This guy's nice at basketball, buddy. So yeah, again, essentially you would have, I think, those 3 fight for that 3 through 5 spot, because 1 and 2 is easily Steph and Luka. I don't think that's up for debate. But yeah, 3 through 5, make an argument between really all those three guys. Also make another argument for Maxi, Trey Young, whoever you want to make an argument for. So, but yeah, that's that. But yeah, let's quickly go over the rest of these games. The Suns beat the Trailblazers 120-107. Durant had himself a Durant type of game at 31-9. In the game when LeBron surpassed 39,000 points, the Lakers win with a record of 9-6. Interesting. 131-99. AD led the Lakers in scoring with 26 and 16 rebounds. Let's look at the standings again real quick. But let's look at the West. Actually, no, just look at both real quick. So as of today, which is November 22nd, on a Wednesday, the Celtics are currently in first place with a record of 11-3. The Bucks and the Sixers are tied for second. Like I mentioned, Miami and Orlando's tied. Indiana's right on their tail. New York is also very close. They're tied with Cleveland for that 8th seed. Couple teams hovering in and out of that play-in spots with Brooklyn, Atlanta, and Toronto. And then looking at the West, a team I did not expect to be anywhere near the top of the Western Conference. I don't think anybody expected them to be this high. The Minnesota Timberwolves sit with a record of 10-3. Denver Nuggets sit with a record of 10-4. The Thunder, like I mentioned, these dudes I kind of figured would on a 5-game winning streak too was crazy. I said, hey, this team could be as high as 4 or 5, or it could be as low as like a play-in team. They said, you know what, we're gonna one up you and be the 3rd seed. So, hey, Dallas fell from the 1st seed all the way to the 4th. They're still one of the better teams, but I think they're just getting that lack of a defense, and they're starting to be a little too streaky for me. So they fell, but they're 9-5. The Kings and the Lakers hover around 5-6. The Suns still waiting for fucking Bradley Beal to get healthy. That nigga has played like 1 game this season or 2 games this season. His lower back is still being evaluated. I think he's about to get reevaluated for his lower back again. So essentially, it's really just KD out there with everyone else. Houston, 6-6, along with New Orleans, the Warriors, and the Clippers hovering around that play-in spot. So far, looking at my predictions, in terms of the East, outside of the Magic, because I didn't think the Magic would be around this 5th seed, outside of the Magic, my prediction so far has been fairly spot on. I said the Nets would be a little bit better than what they are. But yeah, outside of that, it's been fairly spot on. Now the West, holy shit, the West is something. I didn't think the Kings would be able to keep it up. I thought the Mavs, I had the Mavs around here. Timberwolves, I did not think were going to be this good. The Thunder, I said, had potential to be this good, and I thought the Clippers would be better. I thought the Warriors would be better. I thought Phoenix would be what the Timberwolves are right now, but they just haven't been healthy. So I don't even think that's really on them. And by on them, I mean Kevin, because Kevin's been fucking playing his ass off right now. But yeah. In other NBA news, before I call it a break and get this video up to y'all, looking at trade rumors and things of that nature, I have a hair in my head that will not come out, and it's aggravating me. Zach LaVine. I've been seeing a lot of Zach to LA. I've been seeing a lot of Zach to Orlando. I saw crazy ass shit like Zach to Charlotte, which won't happen. That nigga is not going to fucking Charlotte of all places. But Um, where do I think Zach Levine should go? As the Bulls, this is old news, but the Bulls have opened up both Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan. Both of those guys are open for trades, along with Alex Caruso, who has 10 plus teams wanting to go grab him. So obviously the Lakers, being the Lakers, they're gonna go try to grab him. And now if I'm the Lakers, I'm looking at Zach Levine and I'm moving past him because I see that bald headed headband wearing motherfucker behind him. Alex Caruso. Come home, brother. Come home. Come home. Bring it home. Come home, brother. You weren't supposed to leave in the first place. Come back. Come back. I know Lakers fans miss you. LeBron misses you. AD misses you. Come back. How badly they need him is not even up for debate. It's laughable how badly they need that nigga. It's laughable how badly they need that nigga. 3-point shooting, check. Running the offense, check. Defense, triple, quadruple check. Because at that guard position, look at their guards. Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. Nothing about them screams defense. Hell, nothing about them has been screaming offense recently, except for Austin Reeves, who's been playing a little bit better. Um, but yeah, I'm moving past Zach Levine, bro. Zach's cool. Does he help the Lakers shoot the ball? Excuse me. Does he help the Lakers in terms of shooting the ball, scoring the ball, things of that nature? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I know for a fact, I know for a huge fact, it's not going to be cheap getting Zach Levine. It's not going to be cheap. And that's going to be the same. It's going to be the Russell Westbrook situation all over again. Would they give up as much as they did to get Russell? Probably not. But, however, you have a lot of depth, even though some of that depth is underperforming. I personally, I'm looking past Zach. I'm going to Alex Caruso. Looking around the league, also building, trying to build depth, 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 depth. That is the word of the day, word of the season for the Lakers. Get that three big headed monster, big three superstar shit out of the water. Unless those superstars in question is Giannis, Steph, KD, Jokic, Embiid. And if you can get one of them motherfuckers, trade everybody. Trade everybody. Sure, do it. Okay. Unless they're a super, super duper star, yeah, trade everybody you have to. But Zach Levine, I don't hate him. DeMar DeRozan, I don't hate him. But I'm not going to trade all that depth for them just for us to be in the same exact position that we was when we had Russell Westbrook. Now, am I saying that they're going to perform like how Russell Westbrook did? Absolutely not. I don't think so. I would hope not. If they do get Zach Levine instead of Alex Caruso. But if I'm the Lakers and our whole thing this offseason was getting depth, getting better, getting a deeper team, why would we not want to get a valuable piece off the bench in a Alex Caruso who can defend multiple positions, who can run the offense, who can space the floor, who can play make a little bit? Why? And also, the most important thing, he's won with this team. He's won a championship with this team. He knows how to play alongside LeBron. He knows the system. Like he knows LA. Like he knows the Lakers. He's not like some 30-year vet, but he knows, you know what I'm saying? He's familiar with the situation opposed to going to get Zach Levine. Not to say he couldn't adapt to the situation, because obviously he went from Minnesota to Chicago. I'm not saying he can't adapt to the situation, but why not get someone that would be one, I think, a better fit for the team, and two, someone who's already been established and acquainted with the team, opposed to getting someone who I think could fit decently to well with the team, but then has to get all acquainted again with the system. Zach Levine, on top of LeBron, needs the ball in his hands. I, I you can I don't think you can turn Zach Levine into a fucking spot up shooter. I'm just be honest. As I'm gonna just be wholeheartedly honest. Now, am I saying that Zach Levine would turn up into a spot up shooter with LeBron James? I don't know. I don't know. He get his shit off. He get his shit off a little bit. A little bit. He can run the offense a little bit. He can play make a little bit. He'd go crazy time and time again. But 9 times out of 10, like, you know what? Let's lower it down. 8 times out of 10, he's gonna be in that corner. Bron, I'm open. Corner three. Corner three. Zach Levine needs the ball in his hands. He needs the ball in his hands. If you really want him to be effective, if you really want to get the full worth and the full value out of him that the Lakers could do. And the thing is, why would I take the ball out of LeBron James' hands to put it into Zach Levine's hand? Why would I take the ball out of Anthony Davis's hand to put the ball into Zach Levine's hand? Why would I do that? Why would you do that? As a GM, as a coach, as an owner, why would you do that? Why would I do that? Zach Levine can score, but guess what? Can't play defense. Not nearly to the level as a fucking Alex Caruso. Why would I want that? When on top we have offense. The Lakers got offense. Offense is an issue. It's defense. Defense and playing and staying healthy. And let me be specific. Defense in the backcourt. That's what I really mean. Because obviously they got Cam Reddish, but he's more of a 3. But they sometimes playing at the 2. But imagine a backcourt of Cam and Alex Caruso. And Cam Reddish has been going crazy lately. Shout out to Cam because I'm so happy for him. But Cam Reddish has been going crazy lately, offensively, and more importantly, defensively. That's what's real. The defensively part is probably the most important part. Obviously, you want him to score the ball and shoot the ball well, but defensively, he's actually using his body, playing the passing lane, using that 6'8", 6 whatever frame of his, and actually focused and locked in on the defensive side of the ball. Imagine that alongside a defensive minded guy in the Alex Caruso. Good luck scoring. Good luck. Good luck scoring the ball, buddy. And this is coming from a Bucks fan. Mind you, my team is the Bucks. The Lakers are cool. They're okay. I'm indifferent on the Lakers. I can care less about them. But wanting to see them at their fullest, their best potential for that team, again, I'm seeing Zach Levine. I'm seeing DeMar DeRozan. I'm going past them, and I'm going straight to Alex Caruso. I'm being so serious. If the Lakers go get Zach Levine and don't get Alex Caruso, if they somehow finesse both, them niggas are the goats. I'm gonna be honest. Them niggas is winning a championship, and we're not doing shit this year. Just be honest. Because it's gonna be hard to not only stop Zach Levine and try to score that nigga Alex Caruso. Dame is gonna be in fucking hell trying to guard that. Dame is gonna have a fucking nightmare trying to score on Alex Caruso and then have to come back down and be in a pick and roll situation and having to guard Zach Levine. Boy, oh boy. Lord have mercy. Pray for that man. But I doubt they get both. If they somehow get both, probably make some title favorites. I'm gonna just be honest. It makes some title favorites in my opinion. But it's most likely they're gonna get one of the other. And if I had to choose, I'm taking Caruso. Not because he's the better player. The better player is Zach Levine. But for fit, I'm taking Caruso. Caruso's 100%, 1,000% the better fit for that Lakers team and what they're trying to do, opposed to Zach LaVine, in my opinion. Now, if they get Zach LaVine and they prove me wrong and they win the chip, all power to them. However, Lakers, Genie Bus, Pelinka, all y'all dudes, LeBron, Darvin Ham, go get Caruso. Don't get Zach LaVine. Where should I think Zach LaVine should go? That's interesting because it would be a perfect little spot for him in Miami. It would be a perfect little spot for him in Brooklyn. Cleveland, no. Nah, Cleveland is not. New York, pair him alongside Jalen Brunson. That'd be something. Send him to Toronto. Toronto's got nothing but defense out there and no scoring. But then you take the ball out of Scotty Barnes' hands, which is he's been having himself a year this year. I saw Spurs a lot too. I saw a lot of Spurs, which was interesting. Because it would essentially be the reverse. Like DeMar DeRozan left Toronto, was traded to the Spurs, and then went to Chicago. And then it'd be like Zach LaVine leaves Chicago to go to San Antonio. It'd be weird, but it'd be interesting. Would that make them a playoff team? Probably not. But it'd be interesting to see. And then obviously I saw Charlotte as well. Zach LaVine is not going to no fucking Charlotte. Zach LaVine is not going to Charlotte, the Charlotte Hornets. I saw also, I think the two teams that I would really want to see, or three teams I should say, is I saw Miami. Obviously, Miami's going to be in every single trade for any type of a guard. So Miami, New York, and the Sacramento Kings is another one that is very interesting. Sacramento would be very interesting. I would actually really like to see that more than anything. Out of the 3 teams I would name, I would really like to see him in Sacramento. I would really like to see that. Because Sacramento already barely got any defense as it is. The motherfuckers just will outscore you. Who better to add to that is a fast, athletic two-guard that can handle the ball, that can shoot, that can pass, that can do all these things. This would be a better fit for him than LA. This would be a much better fit for him than LA. Much better fit. Does this give them over the hump and make him championship contenders? Absolutely the fuck not. But it'd be fun to watch. And that would, I think, make them pretty scary to play against. I'd tell you that much. But all in all, I'm done. This has been episode 12 of the Lazy Cast. Hope you all have enjoyed. Again, it is always going to be me, your gracious host, Jalen. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you guys probably not this week. I probably won't put the second episode up this week because, again, Thanksgiving. I know a lot of people are going to be with their fam. If I do put it up, it'll probably be like Saturday or Friday or something like that. So we'll see. I promise I won't be taking another week break or anything like that. But yeah, appreciate everybody that's been showing love and support, regardless of whether you've been listening to me since Spotify days, the Anchor days where you couldn't see my face or anything like that, and I was recording off my phone with the bad quality and all that stuff, to now if you just stumbled upon me or something like that. So really loved all the support and everything that y'all guys been showing me. Until next time, I will see y'all. It is currently Wednesday. I'll probably see y'all Saturday. I'm gonna probably see y'all Saturday, and then next week it will be back to Tuesday, Friday. I know this week is kind of all over the place, so we'll see. Hopefully next week is back to its regular schedule. We have Tuesday, Friday. But yeah, I'll probably see y'all back Saturday. If not, I'll just see y'all next Tuesday. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all. Like I mentioned, comment, like, subscribe, post notifications, let you know when I post. And yeah, bye-bye.